Um, Everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, just tough weekend, and obviously a tough loss. Proud of the kids, for coming back, um, and getting the lead back. We just didn't pitch well enough late. But I mean, it's tough again when you stress your bullpen with 12 and 2/3 innings from your starting pitching, and they give up 20 out of the um, 20 out of the 31 runs that the opposing team scores, and it's really tough to win a 4-game series, or win 2 games in a series when um, you just get that kind of starting pitching. So and just ask a lot of your bullpen, and just stress the crap out of them. So um, frustrating, because you played decently well today, and did some good things, and obviously come back, but just nine 1-run losses, I guess, now in the year. It's just been frustrating as can be, and we just can't turn the corner.
Coach, as far as replay in the American, I know you didn't want to talk about what happened, but some schools have it, some don't. I know ECU had it a couple weeks ago. UCF does not have it. What's been the challenge maybe to installing replay at your stadium?
Yeah, you'll have to talk to administration about that. So they just tell me no.
Are you willing to tell us what was going through your head, or what you were thinking when the both calls were happening? There was a second call later in the game that got close.
When I was still there,
There was there was the call at first base, and then there was another call at second base later in the game where Pablo Ruiz
yeah,
slid. That was close.
yeah. I mean, tough. It was close. I watched it on replay a couple times. I mean, and obviously with having replay, be able to slow it down and stuff, it makes it a lot easier. It's a bang bang play though, but if we sprint out of the box, though, we're standing up at second base. So if we don't take the first 3 or 4 steps and feel sorry for ourselves, then it's irrelevant. And again, you can't, if you don't put it in the umpire's hand, then you don't have to worry about bang bang plays.
Coach, can you talk about Ben Bespee and what he was able to do with 4 solid innings out there to keep you guys in it?
Yeah, it's been huge. I mean, been huge all year. And just been a constant there at the end of the game of giving us a chance. We put him into huge games, and if we've been down or up, he's either held the lead or held the other team to give us a chance to try to come back. Obviously getting the save on Friday night was just huge, and then being able to come back and throw that many innings. Just proud of his development over the course of the last 8 months. Our freshmen have really done a great job. I mean, Nick Vieira has gotten tons better. Zach Bennett has gotten tons better, and they've all pitched better than most freshmen pitch at this level. And really are carrying the pitching staff because the older guys aren't cutting it.
Coach, back to the starters. Why the struggles this weekend? What did you see from them?
I mean, it hasn't been this weekend. It's been the last 5, really the whole conference. I mean, we just lack of starting pitching, just inability to execute pitches. I mean, when we call fastballs away, they're in. When we call them in, they're away. When we try to throw 0-2, 1-2 pitches, they're over the heart of the plate, or we hit guys. Just a lack of ability to be consistent. Probably allowing the moments to get to them mentally. Then again, when you look at really the strength of our club coming in was supposed to be our starting pitching. Obviously losing Colton hurts, but that obviously puts a bigger damper on things in terms of taxing a bullpen over the weekend. But I mean, again, but even when Colton was here, when you took Colton out of the mix, we weren't getting very consistent starting pitching. We'd have some weeks here or there where we get one good start and the guy would go deep into games and pitch really, really well, but just couldn't back it up the next week. And, just not being mentally tough enough. And again, the one thing that you're supposed to be when you look at the starting pitching, the amount of experience they have and amount of innings and starts and appearances over the course of their career, those are supposed to be the things that really, experience, you can't teach that, right? Like that's not something you can give Ben Bespee. You can't give him experience. You can't give him 4 years of starting experience in Division I level, 4 years of being in at Division I and pitching a lot. Like you just can't give that to somebody. Like you have to go through the grinder of this season, you know what I mean, of the career, you know, and get better. And you'd think that our guys would be mature enough and experienced enough to handle the ups and downs, the frustrations, you know, the inconsistencies, and they just haven't done that at all.
Coach, you mentioned last night how you had to keep the game close in order to win. You managed to do that. You managed to do that today, and even though the game ended in a loss, what do you have to say about how the team was able to keep the game close this time?
I mean, just again, I'm proud of the offense. You know, we struggled the last couple of times of getting down and not being able to come back when we did, and so proud of us for being able to overcome another bad start and being able to fight and get back. Obviously, the 2 home runs were huge. We just can continue to put ourselves in situations to try to win the game and come back and take the lead. You know, and again, just proud of the bullpen. I mean, obviously it sucks because, you know, you give up 1 run and it ends up costing you, or 2 run, whatever it was. But again, I mean, the same issues. I mean, just we're going to probably break the school record for hitting guys, and we're walking too many guys. And you know, free bases, we just have killed us all year. You know, of guys are going to get hits and things are going to happen, and we got to be able to put pressure on guys, make them beat us. But when you put guys on base by hitting them or walking them, it's really difficult. In baseball in general, but especially college baseball. I mean, big innings and stuff like that are rarely do you get 5-6 hits in an inning. You want to put up 3 or 4 runs, like you gotta grind out walks, get hit by pitch, do those different kind of things, put some pressure on them, make an error or something like that, and then knock out a couple hits or get the big hit. You know, and they did a great job of that by just making us pay. We put them on base with a walk or hit by pitch. They scored probably 90% of the time this weekend. You know, we just again, and it's, I mean, just non-competitive walks, 4-pitch walks, like and hit by pitches, you know, trying to go in, and we hit a guy up in his upper back. Like that's not only you missing in, but you're missing up, or 0-2, and just being able to try to put guys away, or just missing a spot altogether and hitting a guy when trying to throw the ball down the middle or away, and we end up throwing it in and hitting the guy. So good teams make you pay when you do that, and that's what Wichita did this all weekend. But that's what teams have been doing to us all year. It's just punishing us for making mistakes like that.
You said that you thought the team, every chance it gets, is trying to turn the corner, but it hasn't. What will it take to turn that corner? Can it turn that corner with just a couple of series left in the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, tough. I mean, obviously we have the talent and the ability. It's obviously been a really difficult year with injuries and all the other stuff. You know, it's just been tough. Feels like every day something's happening and somebody's getting hurt, and you know, and playing through injuries or you know, just out for weekends and whatnot. And you know, it's just been tough. Every time we kind of feel like we're getting into a rhythm, like something happens that, you know, is really hard to overcome, whether it's Colton, whether it's, you know, Nick Romano goes down, and, you know, Freeland obviously was banged up all weekend trying to play through it. Rathbone's been banged up for like the whole season and just playing through it. And obviously Colton, you know, just one after the other, man. It's just been stacking on top of each other. So it's just really been hard to get into rhythm as a team, really been getting hard as a rhythm as players. And then again, just stressing the bullpen and those guys because of the lack of depth and guys being hurt and stuff like that. It's just it's been typical to overcome. So just got to try to get healthy here for the end. You know, get 2 more weekends. You got to try to get some guys back and get them healthy, and try to get some rhythm going, and try to, you know, get some of, you know, figure out the starting rotation and just figure out who can go out there and give us, you know, a quality start. I mean, we gave up runs in the first inning all 3 games, or all 4 games. So again, I mean, just lot of pressure on the offense. Have to come back, play from behind, and when you feel like when you're doing that every game, it's difficult. It is tiring. It's tiring as a coach, and it's tiring as an offense when you do that. And again, I'm proud of the kids today. We talked about it yesterday. Just being better at that, and we've talked about it for a couple of weeks, and just being able to fight and not give up. And again, I think our bullpen's done a tremendous job of holding games where they were to try to give us a chance. And on the offense today did a much better job of competing and just keep showing up and trying to win innings. And we've been talking a lot about just trying to win the innings. Let's not worry about trying to score 7 runs when we're down. Let's just worry about trying to score 1 every inning for 7 innings, and you put yourself back in the game. So we just got to get healthy and try to get a rhythm going. And obviously you felt pretty good coming into this weekend because we had played pretty well and had won 3 in a row or whatever it was, and then after the first game Friday, but just losing a couple of guys, getting banged up here this weekend just made it really, really tough.
The batting order looked a little different for this game. What was the motivation on that batting order change, and do you think it helped with the increase the offensive production?
I don't know. I mean, I just was trying to go with who was hot and whose numbers were good against left-handed pitchers. So I mean, it was a little bit different. Obviously, but not a ton. I mean, really, Joseph was the only major move. I mean, then with versus left-handed pitcher, then maybe the last 2 times that we played against a left-handed pitcher. So just obviously Tom was scuffling a little bit and put a little more pressure on him, something he's not used to doing by playing defense, which he hasn't been doing a ton of this year. So getting him out of the DH spot, I thought it was just putting a little bit more pressure on him doing that. And obviously, didn't walk a lot, which he has been doing a ton of. So just with the numbers, the way that they said that the lineup should be, just kind of went with that today to try to get the guys that were hitting well against left-handed pitchers up to the top of the order. But who knows if that's the reason why it worked.
A tough road weekend now coming up at Tulane. Talk a little bit about what you know about Tulane, and your team has shown that it can rise to the occasion against top-tier teams. Yeah.
Obviously, they've been hot, ever since conference started. I mean, they got the second best starting pitcher in the league. Obviously going on Fridays, and but they've had really good starting pitching. They've had some timely offense and some young guys that are doing well for them. And they got a couple really good bullpen pieces at the back end. So we're going to have to scrap and find ways to try to get to the bullpen early, try to knock those starting pitchers out, put stress on their bullpen, try to use those, force them to use some of those good guys as many times as we possibly can. It's obviously usually a tough park to play in, just depending on the way the wind's blowing, but it plays really, really small when the wind blows out. And so we just got to do a good job trying to keep them off the board and give ourselves a chance to win late in the game, and try not to see their the back end guys when we're down runs, and try to also force them to use a lot of those guys on Fridays and whatnot, and try to stress their bullpen like we've been stressing ours.
We saw Noah Orlando for the first time in his first appearance in a while today. What were your thoughts on his performance?
I thought he did a good job. Got a big bunt down. I think he got a big double late in the game. So made the great play early in the game, and the jump throw down the third base line. So you just tell the kids always be ready for your opportunity. And obviously with Braid out this weekend, and the left-hander just needed to try to get another right-handed bat in there. So just went with Noah and try to give us a shot. And again, I thought he did a good job. But, again, just epitome of being ready when your number's called. You never know when it's going to happen, whether it's by injury or coach's decision or whatever the case is. You just got to make practice important and give great effort and make your batting practice and stuff before the games your game, and then be a great teammate and then be ready to go when it's your time.
You mentioned about how you wanted to get to the bullpen quickly when it comes to the next series. Now that Hunter Patterson has gotten back into the starting rotation, what can we expect to see from him going forward?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he just continues to do what he did this week. He's pitched really well out of the pen and just really been kind of getting back to what we thought in terms of being a starter this year. And, obviously was on a limited pitch count. Obviously we'll be able to increase that next week. So hopefully he can come out and just give us the same thing. I mean, just be able to attack the zone, use, obviously his stuff to, being able to, especially, I think Tulane only has 2 left-handers maybe in their lineup, which obviously he's tough on left-handers, and then the sink away against right-handers, just trying to use that in his changeup. And, again, just like to see him walk a few less guys, but, again, if you can pitch around it, then good for him. And he did that this weekend. So we just got to build off of Friday's start and continue to expand that. And, again, right now I got to figure out, who else is going to start this weekend and try to figure out how we can get more than, again, 12 innings out of our rotation.
You said earlier you want to see the team be more mentally tough. Can you teach that?
This late in the year, I'm not so sure. You would hope that just the trials and tribulations of all the ups and downs and just crazy stuff that's happened to us, would make us tougher. And just the experience of going through it all would make us tougher. A lot of that stuff is built in the fall, and some of the team camaraderie stuff and, things that we work on. But also you kind of got to be in one place, which is obviously hard this year. So we just, I wasn't creative enough during COVID to figure out ways to do it, through Zoom or whatever the case is, to allow our guys to be tougher and be able to handle, the things that we talk about, but sometimes it's, whether it's in person, being able to read a room or being able to do different things in the fall that try to help prepare, that we've done in the past that I think have worked that we just were unable to do. So sometimes you just got to be in the fire to kind of callous yourself from just the difficulties. And so hopefully, these last couple of weeks and we get into the tournament, that those are the types of things that we'll be able to overcome because of the things we've been through all year.